Just give me 10 minutes. Today we'll basically, oh yeah, we have to go over the whole thing again. Is Che here? It's not. Okay, I need to ask Che if he, I think he opened his database with a set log, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Had any question concerning your assignment?
Yes.
I didn't understand your question too, for real.
Okay, one moment.
Yeah.
Okay, first we're going to start by doing the assignment, the rest of assignment 8, and then we'll jump into the other assignment. But we won't spend too much time on it because everything we did, everything I put in the assignment are things that we already seen together. So it's not as hard as the other one that I gave to you guys, where you guys didn't know what should be done, right?
Right.
So we'll go back to it anyway. And I don't know, do you guys have any issue with the difference between the backup based duplication and the active duplication? Or not? Why are you guys comfortable? Because this morning, they told me they had an argument about the difference between the backup-based duplication or active-based. So we took like a good 40 minutes to explain. I took 40 minutes maybe to explain all the different types of backups and cloning and the differences. So I'm asking the whole class if you're good with that.
No, for me, now I don't even know the difference between them two, the backup base and the active base.
Okay, good.
But the active base are no we just need to add additional the stuff we put on listener.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know that's a major difference. That we don't need a backup.
Yes, on active base, you don't need the backup.
We don't need the backup.
Hey, Arman.
What do you mean we don't need a backup?
On active base?
Yeah, backup is not needed for active-based duplication.
Yeah.
The backup is the other one for the backup based duplication because you are duplicating from the backup.
But it's not the only thing that makes both different, though.
So, excuse me, Emerald.
Yes.
A quick question. So, where does Arman duplicate?
Exactly. This is where I was going to go. Exactly. That's a good question. It's not that Arman does not back up, right? Arman, there is a backup that takes place. It's just that it's a live backup.
A live backup.
Yes. So the way the database is at the moment of the duplication, right? That's when Arman backs up. But let me take the time to, I'm trying to connect and it's giving me a hard time. I'm trying to. Okay, I need someone to please share your screen. I need someone to share their screen, please. I can't connect right now to my computer. It's giving me a hard time. My hotspot is not. The computer isn't saying my hotspot.
I have a problem in my old house. Yeah, my old house here.
Okay.
Emerald, you need someone to share the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'll share mine.
Someone who doesn't have a database.
Okay. Mary already
I know.
shared.
Okay, Mary. Okay. Okay, Mary, can you open the lesson, chapter 8? Chapter 9, I'm sorry.
Oh my.
On Canvas.
Okay.
Hello, Mary.
Teacher.
How was your week?
I was not feeling good in my road.
Why?
I had a fever.
Oh no.
God help you.
I hope it's not cold.
God forbid. Don't say that.
Fever is a symptom.
So, Emerald, I was just wondering, right, on the assignment that you gave, when you are doing the duplication, when you're doing ORCL2, first of all, when you change to active base, I think you said something that don't switch to copy. Does that mean like your final product, like ORCL2, is going to have the backup location?
I don't switch to copy. What I mean is don't switch them back to the main live location, to the live location, right? Or don't rename the files.
Oh, okay, don't rename. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so do the active base, do the backup base duplication while the files are still in their backup directories.
Okay.
So, Emma, when you talk on question 2 for the assignment 9, you said we should switch the database file. No, those files, right? The
Yes.
table spaces. You said we should switch that. I don't know if we should initiate recovery before we switch them or what.
What do you mean? Hello?
I tried to.
Yes. I'm listening.
I tried to switch to copy, but it shows that it didn't need any recovery.
Okay. One moment.
Okay.
Hello?
Mary.
Yes, Koji. I'm listening.
In question 2 of your assignment 9, you said switch to copy all the data files belonging to hacking, servers,
Yes.
and others.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I tried to switch. I tried doing it, but it shows that the data files didn't require. It didn't need any that like they were
I can hear you.
to be recovered.
I can hear you. You're breaking. Can you say it again?
You said that your data file didn't need recovery.
Yes.
Yes, you just switch to copy. I told you guys, the database, the files don't need to be crashed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or gone. You can switch to copy just like that, just for the sake of it.
So Emerald, so when you're doing ORCL2,
Yes.
does that mean it's also going to include the backup location, like the live location will include the backup location for those files?
If you want to.
Okay.
If you want to put them there, like when we use the DB file name convert parameter, right? You tell Amanda, okay, all the files belonging to ORCL that are in that database are going in that directory, right? So let's say, for example, if you have some control files in a specific directory and you specify in the DB file name convert that all the files that are in /ctl or /u1/ctl, you can specify that instead of going to /oradata/oracl2, let them go to /u1/ctl2, for example. You see?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can do that with the DB file name convert parameter.
Okay. And also, I just had another question. So in question 3, where you're asked to multiply, actually question 4, when you multiplex the control files, was there anything you had to change in the P files when you were doing the duplications? Because you know how we have to add the DB underscore, those extra 2 parameters. So was there anything that we needed to do for question 5, like when we were doing the duplication, or did we just have to change it to the ORCL, to the database location?
You need to add them in the DB file convert.
You didn't,
Add
right?
those. Excuse me?
Did you or did you not?
You could have added them in the DB file name convert, but you didn't have to.
Okay, because I didn't. But then I stay with like 5 control files, but then I just changed the location. So
yes, you didn't have to, because Arman will I'm sorry. Arman will recreate the control files from 1, so you don't need the other control files. You know that Arman does an auto backup of the control files, right? So Arman will recreate the control files in the live location.
okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, like when you're doing the point in time recovery, do you have to delete all the files?
What? No, you don't have to.
Okay, because that's why I got stuck. I didn't know how to, like, my database is crashing now because I was trying to do the point in time recovery.
You wanted to share your screen. Emma, do you want somebody that did the assignment?
Excuse me?
Do you want somebody that did the assignment, or?
Okay, actually,
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it? Okay.
I didn't do this one. I mean, I didn't know how to do the point in time recovery. So I created a stable space, but I didn't know how to continue.
Which one?
This one in Canvas.
Which one are you talking about?
Yes. Okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna do it.
I was talking about the extra assignment she gave us.
Anita.
But she asked me to open my Canvas. What was I opening?
Is assignment 8 you're supposed to open, or assignment 9?
9.
Assignment 9. We're done with assignment 8. So today we'll be done with assignment 9, and then next class assignment chapter 10, which is a really nice chapter. Okay, so I'm just hoping that I was actually, because I want us to start where we left off yesterday, on Friday with Che, but he's not connected, fortunately. So I don't know if he made the changes, if he opened reset logs, because I think he sent me a message the other day and he told me he did something like that, but I'm not sure. Yes, he did. So I cannot use, yes, he did. I just checked, he did. So I cannot use Chase student ID. So I have to start over from scratch, assignment 9, because his ORCL crashed anyway. So let me connect to my server. Give me, guys, please, 3 minutes. Okay, Marie, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm going to do assignment 10. I need a student ID. Yes.
61.
So before doing that, could you please go through the difference between the backup base and the active
We'll
base?
do that at the end because we did this morning at the end of the class because we don't need internet connection. We don't need the server to be fast for that.
Okay, cool.
So it's best to do it at the end. I'll try my best to break it down as much as possible. So assignment 9, we have to do it all over again because he crashed his database. We had to recover it. So create an additional table space in ORCL called student. So I'm going to open Notepad just for us to put it somewhere. Okay, so create an additional table space in ORCL called student, right? So create small file, table space, data file, / data / ORCL / student 01.dbf. And let's give it 30M, right? So this is for question 1. That was already connected. Okay, can you send me your password inbox, please?
I just did.
Okay, thank you.
On WhatsApp.
Thank you.
Yeah, and my database is crashed.
Okay, which database? ORCL?
Yes.
Oh. Oh, really? But sometimes you say that and then it's not crashed, so.
Yeah, I was trying to do the point in time and then it just didn't go through. Like, I don't know.
And reset logs. Okay, cannot identify log trace file. Okay, so let's try to connect to Arman. See if we can do point in time recovery. We just try to put restore database. There is a way to restore the database.
Okay, so Emerald, also when I attempted in doing this assignment, I kept getting an error saying that, what did it say? It said cannot use system rollback segment for non-system database. So what I did is I just altered the undo management to auto. I was wondering if I have to change that back. Hello?
Yes, I'm right here.
Okay. So when you alter the database and you change to the undo management to auto, do you have to change that back?
Yes, if you want to. You don't mean you don't have to.
Okay.
Okay, so it's taking a while to restore.
Because I have a lot of data files. I added, all those data files, extra tables, table spaces.
Okay. Set logs. Oh, I was muted all this time. Anita, what was the problem? Was the point in time recovery the problem?
Yes, that was the problem. Because when I tried to do the point in time recovery, it said, first of all, it said that I had to recover the control files or something like that.
Yes.
Because I issued the command to the point in the time that I wanted. Then it said I had to do the
Control file first, right?
Okay. And then after that, I tried to recover the whole database, but
right.
then it didn't.
So were you able to restore the control file to that point in time?
Yes.
Okay.
So I restored the control files to current, something like that. Restore current control files. Something I don't remember.
But that wasn't the control file from the point in time. That was the current control file.
So that's why it went wrong. That's why.
Okay, but we'll be doing that. Let's
Okay.
be doing that. Okay, alter database, open reset logs. Now I can connect back to SQL. Create a small file, table space, or let's give it a name. Student, get a file / or a data /. Okay, so we're done with question 1, right? That was fast. Question 2, take a complete backup of the database. So let's connect back to Arman and back up the database. Yeah, yesterday it was really giving us a hard time because the connection was very slow at 9:30, but usually it start getting slow later than that.
Peter, I have a question.
Sure.
When we say take a complete backup of the database, after you did a backup database plus archive log, can you back up the SP file and control files as well?
Yes, you can do that.
Okay.
If you notice
Huh?
that after the backup as copy, if you notice that the reason the control file was not backup or the SP file, then you can do it. But if you notice that it already backed up the control file and the SP file, then you don't need to.
Okay.
You guys can let me know if you have a question, okay?
Okay.
Then it says wait 10 minutes and perform a table space printing time recovery. Of course, we don't have to wait 10 minutes. I don't have to wait 10 minutes.
Okay, another question I had is while performing the active base duplication, you know, when you're editing the listener, when you're editing the listener, you showed us a method that if you have like different databases, you can just add it instead of adding like all the columns, all the lines that you added. So I tried doing it that way, it didn't work. So I was just wondering, does that?
I wanted to, yes, one of your classmates had that problem this weekend. Okay, basically you see where it says listener underscore SID, where it says listener underscore SID list, right?
Yeah.
Or listener underscore SID listener. So you put equal sign and then you put the SID underscore list. And then after that, there is SID underscore desk, right?
Okay,
yes. After the SID underscore desk, right? This is what you would keep from SID underscore desk all the way down to the last line, right?
Yeah.
This is what you will need to copy back every time, right?
So what I did, I just copied everything and just pasted it below.
Yeah, no, it gives someone an issue this weekend. Copying current control file. Did the file copy complete? Okay, so the control files are already copied and the SP file. So we don't need to do another backup because it was already backed up. Are we good?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. wait 10 minutes and perform a tablespace point in time recovery based on 5 minutes ago of the tablespace student. Okay, so what we are going to do is create a table so that we can see the difference between the two. Okay, it's a 10-minute perform a tablespace point in time recovery based on 5 minutes ago of student tablespace. Okay, I'm going to create a user. What should be the name of the user?
I already have a user. Well, okay, that's fine.
Pick Marie.
Yeah, Marie.
Create user Marie, identify by Marie. Space. Are we good?
Yes.
Grant Connect resource.
Excuse me?
Grant Connect resource to Marie.
Right? Then we are going to create a table. Let's connect as, should I create a table as 6? So create table Mary dot evening, sorry. As select all from HR dot vision. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we are going to select all from Mari dot evening. Okay, this is what we have, right?
Right.
Even insert into that's fine. Now I'm going to commit. Are we good?
Okay. Yeah. So you're creating the table just so that the table space is not empty?
No, I'm creating a table because I'm going to truncate that table.
So what question are you answering right now?
Okay, I want to do question 3. I'm doing question 3, right?
Okay.
But I want to make sure that you guys can see that some change was actually made, that it's not just random like that, so that you can actually see the difference between before and after, right? Okay, so this time I committed. We have Middle East, Africa, and blah, blah. Now I'm going to insert into table Marie name values. First one would be 5. Africa is already there. I need to put single. Okay, and now I'm going to commit. And then I'm going to select all again from Marie.evening. Right?
Right.
Now I'm going to check the current SCN. So current underscore SCN from $V database. Check the current SCN. So this is the SCN. I need that SCN and paste it somewhere. Are we good? So this is the current SCN. You need the SCN at the time when the database was, when that table had the 5 rows. Are we good?
Wait, what is the underscore? Is it the underscore is between current and SCN?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like someone is trying to ask me something, but the connection is not good.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm the one. I was wondering if to use the time.
You were?
I'm wondering if we can still use the time to perform the.
Yes, you can use the time. This is, I showed you guys last time, there are 2 options, right? Let me see if there's his here. I saw it last time. Okay. So you have the different option. You can select timestamp to SCN,
Okay.
right? As SCN from dual, or you can select current SCN or select SCN underscore to underscore timestamp. So we have these 3 options, right?
So can you not just select the date?
The date like this?
Like, I don't understand. So this is to do what? To do the point in time recovery, right? So all this information, you're trying to derive it so you can do the point in time recovery.
Yes, basically.
Okay. So can you just like, I don't know, select, look for the date on the server instead?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so you want us to try with the time?
I mean, I was just wondering,
I
like,
don't know if I can do that date from here. Yeah, yes, it works. Okay, so let's say, when was it? 5 minutes ago? Okay, so today is June 22nd. And what time is it? 19. What time was it 5 minutes ago? 19:02, let's say. So you can use that as well, and 38 seconds to, it would convert the timestamp to SCN, right? Now,
okay.
if you knew at what time we created a table and we insert and we just create a table, then we could be doing a point in time recovery to that specific time when we recovered, when we create a table.
But I thought you said you wanted to truncate it, and then we see the difference from
Yeah,
when you truncate and when
I've not truncated it. I've not truncated it yet. Now I just need to write down the SCN before truncating.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. No, it's because like you did that one 5 minutes ago. So I'm just wondering, why are we using 5 minutes ago versus now when we haven't really truncated yet?
I already used the select current SCN, right? That's
Yeah.
basically why I
Oh,
used
okay.
that one from 5 minutes ago, just to use and give an example.
Okay.
But this is the current SCN, and I'm going to use that one. So at that time, this is the current SCN, and when we select all from Mary evening, we still have that, right?
Right. So to do the point in time recovery, do you have to use the SCN?
You don't need the SCN, but if you have a time, like the second, you can use that.
Okay.
So you have the choice between the time and the SP.
So like just looking at the date, you can use that information, right? Like whatever is on there. Okay.
What's making that noise?
Baka.
Please, can you mute? Thank you. Okay. So now, okay, let me read the question. Wait 10 minutes and perform a point in time recovery based on 5 minutes ago. So now I'm going to truncate the table. Or I can even drop the table if I want to. Okay, now when I select all from Marie, no row selected, right? Now I'm going to commit. So the table is officially, I mean, even before I committing, the table was already, there was no way to roll back. Since we truncated. Very good. Okay, so I have the SCN right now. So I need to specify, for this assignment, you need to specify that SCN when database was okay. But you don't have to specify the SCN. You can just use the time and the second when you knew that your database was up and running. When the table was okay. Now, we are not going to wait 10 minutes. We are just going to go straight to doing a point in time recovery. So I'm going to exit. Oh yes, I need to open WinSCP to show you guys what's taking place. What's taking place in the background that you won't see if unless you go directly and check it. I need to remember, I need to get your password. Okay, so before connecting to Arman, I need to create an auxiliary instance. I actually forgot that I forgot to create the auxiliary instance.
Hello.
Yes.
I have a question, quick question, please.
Sure.
What if in a case where, okay, you are taking now the LCN when the database was, when the table space was present, right?
Excuse me?
I'm asking that the LCN is at the time when the table was present in the database, right?
Right.
So what if in a case where like you don't know when the database was, when the table space was probably deleted or the hacker came in and took it off. So where would you get it from? Where would you get the LCN from, or the time when?
If you didn't know when it, well, that's the thing, is that you should have an approximation, or you can use the audit trail files. For example, if you audit every table that is deleted or truncated, you'll get the information from the audit trail, right?
Okay, auditory.
You guys remember auditing? DB1, chapter 11.
Yeah.
Okay, so last time you talked about how you need to have an auxiliary destination, right? Arman will create an auxiliary instance, and Arman will send the files into that auxiliary destination and basically do a complete point in time recovery, right? And then use the table space and then perform an export and import. You guys remember, right? Okay, so I'm going to create a directory where Arman will be sending the restoration and the recovery process to basically the restored file from that point in time recovery. So I'm going to name it aux. Call it aux. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to go from here to /ORAData, and you need to make sure you have enough space because it's basically a point in time recovery. Okay, now it's empty, right?
Right.
Right now it's empty. Okay, good. So I'm going to connect now to Arman. It's ORCL. Now I'm going to make sure that
Emma, how do you have space to contain?
excuse me?
How do you know if that space, the space is going to contain your whole database, the size of the whole database?
How do I know?
How would you know?
Because I know that ORAData has enough space now. Right? I know that ORAData has enough space.
Yes.
Yes.
So do you know the size of the database?
Do I know?
Yes.
Do I know what?
Like the entire size of a database.
Yeah, I can have most of the database we are dealing with right now are like 2 GB max, 2.5 GB max.
Okay.
Okay.
So Emerald,
yes.
you're creating you created that a directory that's for the transfer, right? The database transportation.
No.
No.
You will see. It's not for the transportation.
For cloning. Arman cloning.
Yes, Arman will clone an auxiliary instance to that directory, right? It will make sense as we do it, will make sense. That's why I open WinSCP so that you can see what's going on. Okay, now I'm going to do a table space point in time recovery, right? Recover table space, student until SCN. Then I'm going to get that SCN that I got earlier.
Please, can you explain me the author system archive log current? You just the one you did. Why did you do that?
It's to archive the current log file, the current log group, right? We use that command in DB1.
Emily?
Yes.
So this NCN is when the table was present?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Right now it's gone. We just selected all from Mary, right?
So we're trying to recover from the point in time when this NCN was present, right?
Exactly.
When a table space was present.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
Okay.
So now you want to specify the auxiliary destination. And /ORAData / what's the name? Oxy desti. It can be whatever name you want to give it. It doesn't have to be that. Now you guys can see. Let's read. Creating automatic instance with SID. So this is the instance that Arman is creating right now. You guys can see. Creating automatic instance with SID. So this is the new SID of the database, right? DB name ORCL. So it's a clone of ORCL. Now that database has a different unique name, right? The DB unique name is ADF_. So this is the name of the new database, ADF_, right? So Arman is literally cloning a new database to do the point in time recovery of the table space.
Emerald, please, could you please increase the or change the background, because like it's really hard to see those underscores.
Okay.
Thank you.
But I want to get.
Okay, that's better.
It's okay. It's manageable. Thank you.
It's about the same thing.
Okay, so basically, I don't know, this is dark on white. I don't know how much more I can, or maybe change the police. The thing is, I wanted to show you guys the instance, and I show you guys the P file. Okay, let me just around, or just the size. Are we good?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, you see that here Arman is literally creating an instance, an auxiliary instance and temporary instance only for the point in time, right? So the DB name, this is the P file, basically. You guys see?
Yeah.
This is the P file. So DB name compatible, DB block size, DB file SGA, processes, DB, so it's a clone of, so Arman is creating one for the time of doing point in time recovery of the table space. Now let's see if it puts some stuff here already. No, it's still empty. So we're gonna have to wait, and you'll see that Arman would put system in there and all the other little files. Yeah, it does take a while. It's not as fast as other options. That's why I think flashback is just, it's best. Flashback doesn't take so long. Okay, so you guys will see, you see, it created ORCL. ORCL wasn't there, we didn't create it, right?
Right.
When we open ORCL, we have control file, we have data file, and online log. Yeah, you have the control file here, right? Arman doesn't only need one control file because it knows that all the control files are the same. They are just duplicated. So data files, you guys can see that here we have CSOX, system undo, example will be added, and the other one. So you guys can see that this is the auxiliary instance that's being created. Are we good? So Arman will literally create an auxiliary instance just to do a point in time recovery. So those files, if you check the time of those files, they are the files from 15 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, right?
Oh, wow.
Refresh. Okay. So those are the files from 15 minutes ago. This is the way the database was exactly 15 minutes ago. So Arman is bringing the whole database back to that time just to get that table space. Are we good?
Okay.
Just to get that table space. Yes.
Wow, this is a lot of work.
I know.
For one table space.
Exactly. Now you see it created undo, temp, system, CSOX, and should have example too.
Well, the thing is, like, you can do this for multiple table spaces at the same time, right?
Right. Instead of student, I could have added another one. So I could have put another one.
Does it take like all the data files that are in the database, or just the
No,
set
not all of
or
them.
what? Okay.
Just the main ones like system, CSOC, STEM, and I think example 2. That's it.
Okay.
It doesn't take, like, if we're doing it with LSMO, you wouldn't have the other ones.
So how about student? I mean, the table that you created, is that going to be on here?
No.
But why?
It only needs the database the way it was, like the main data files. It doesn't copy the students and all the other data files that are not the data files that were created with the database, basically.
But if you're doing a point in time recovery, like, where is it going to get information from?
Where will you get the information from?
Yeah, like, because you're trying to restore the student, or I think it was the morning table or evening table. So why is that it's not going to appear here?
It's getting in from sys, from system. It's getting the information from system. Okay, let me show you guys something. You see here, we are starting the export job, right?
Right.
You guys can see you are starting the export job, right? But you're not seeing student here. You're not seeing student data file here, right?
Right.
And you only have one control file. So those are the files that AMA needs to perform the point in time recovery. Here, AMAN is already importing. Let me see if I can show you guys what was happening. Okay, you see, so AMAN recovered and finished the recovery. Then the database was open. Okay, let me go back. I want us to go back to the steps. Okay, let me just finish it. It's almost done. Okay, so the recovery is done, right? And I want you guys to see something. Okay, actually from here we can see. So you see that AMAN needed the control file, the data file, and the radio logs information. So here we have a temp, data file, CSOC, undo, system, right? So those are the one that AMAN created. Now let's scroll up and see after doing it. Okay. After the database, man clone database. After system, archive log current, begin, restore, auto backup flag. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, okay, restore table space. Okay, restore the table space, the recovery set and the auxiliary set. Restore clone data file 13231. Right? So it's going to restore the data file. It's just that it wouldn't show in the auxiliary database. Switch clone data file on. Now I want to show you guys, okay. After database, after table space, student offline, right? So it's putting that table space offline before running the import.
Okay.
So it's restoring basically all the files. I don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah.
It's restoring all of them. It's just that it doesn't show in the auxiliary destination. But I think because the systems, so they are such large files, rather they need to be put somewhere. Otherwise, it might require too many resources. So for example, here we have student 01. It was restored, right? That's actually data file 31. That's student 1 is data file 31. So it did restore that one, right? And then it put all of them online. So 1 is system, 2 is CSOC, 3 is undo, and 31, right? Recover and open reset logs. So it opened the database, it opened the reset logs, right? So all of those are online, but the temp is still there. and that's it. It didn't need to restore. Okay, now the database is open, so it restored and it recovered. So the database was open at that specific point in time, like 15 minutes ago, right? So Arman cloned the database to 15 minutes ago, right?
Right.
To the time when data was still in that table before we truncated that table, right? Now, Arman is going to do what we're about to do manually for the assignment 9B, sorry. So Arman is going to put the table space in read-only mode, right? Perform the regular import. So Arman is going to export and then import, and that's it. So let's go back to WinSCP, and I want to show you guys something interesting. It's gone, right?
Wow.
Arman removed it. So it's only temporary, right? So it's only for the time that it's doing the point in time recovery. And as soon as the point in time recovery is done, it deletes everything like nothing happened. So the data files are gone, the online logs are gone, and the control file is gone, right? Everything is like it never existed, right? Okay. So that's why it's called auxiliary instance. It's temporary. It's only just for that time. Are we good?
Yes.
Now, I want to show you guys something. You see that the SQL statement says alter table space student offline, right?
Yes.
And at no point it says alter table space student read write or online, right? So let's connect to SQL. And let's select all from Murray.evening. What do you expect to see? File 31 cannot be read at this time, right? So it cannot be read at this time because it's offline. Yes. So alter table space student actually.
So Emma didn't bring it online.
Excuse me?
Arman didn't bring it back online.
Arman didn't bring it online.
Oh.
So Arman, when doing the point in time recovery of the table space, Arman is doing the transportable table space that we're about to do in chapter in part 2. So what we'll be doing in part 2 is exactly what Arman did, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except that we are doing it manually.
Okay, so while let's say in the real case scenario, and you need to recover this table space, right?
Right.
But then people still need it. Can you switch it to copy? Would that be the best course of action, to switch it to copy?
The thing is, when you switch to copy, you need to recover. So when performing recovery, the recovery will make you remove data. You cannot switch to copy in this case. You see why? Because for you, when you switch to copy, right, what's the next step? You recover.
Yeah.
You recover to the current point in time, right? To the current SCN. So when you apply the archive logs information, one of the archive logs information that would be applied, or the radio logs information that would be applied, would be that truncate table. You agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot do point in time. Switch to copy wouldn't work in that case. You need to do a point in time recovery.
So in other words, while you're doing this, like that table space cannot be used at all.
It's offline. Yes, it's offline. Or you can do it manually without using Arman. And Arman you put it in read only. So people can only see it, but they cannot make changes to it, right? So that's why we have two options. Arman will put it offline, but when you do it manually, you put it in read only mode.
Okay.
Are we good? So that people can see it, but they cannot make changes.
So at what point do you put in read-only mode? Like at the before you do the restoration,
Put it
the
in
point in
only
time
mode
recording?
before doing the export.
Okay.
Before doing the export, we put it in read-only mode. And we put it back from read-only mode after copying the files from the source to the target destination. So we are done with the first part. That was interesting, right?
Yeah.
So let's do that. Transport table spaces, PT work, PTAPP, PS work, PT3 from TLSDMO to ORCL. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is to create those table spaces. Since those are SQL statements that you already know, use the one from this morning. Those are not the steps exactly. They are not in order, so don't screenshot that. Okay, I'm only creating the table spaces, right? So create, okay, instead of XPT work, I'm gonna give it back. Actually, no, let me leave it like this so you can do it. And okay, so I'm going to create those 4 table spaces with data files inside, right? So
Right.
assignment 1 says transport table spaces, PT1, TAPP, PT3 from TLSDMO to ORCL. So this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to create those. Are we good? 4 created. So now we have the 4 of them. Now, because of that question, remap schema from SysADM to HR, right? Because of that question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because this morning we spent some time on it. Because of that question, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a table or 2 tables to EXPT app, or I'm going to move a table to EXPTAPP. But let me create the user SysADM, right? The remap schema from SysADM to HR. So I'm going to create user SysADM, sysadmin, right? Identify by SysADM. Grant DBA to SysADM. The reason why I'm granting DBA to SysADM is because I know that SysADM is the sysadmin. So the sysadmin will definitely have SysDBA privilege in the first place, right?
Right.
Okay. Otherwise, I would not have granted DBA. Okay. So now that we have SysADM, I'm going to use the table. The table needs to be owned by SysADM. So let me connect as SysADM identified by SysADM. Okay, so we are going to start working on question 2 a little bit because you cannot remap a schema if the schema is empty. If the schema doesn't own any object, it's not a schema, it's a user. Are we good?
Okay. Yeah.
Schema becomes a schema when it holds many objects. So for you to do question 2, remap schema from SysADM to HR, that schema needs to have objects that it owns. Otherwise, just a user, even though it has DBA privilege. We good?
Yes.
Okay. So create table evening or class evening or whatever as select all from HR.departments. We're going to create another table. Class evening 2. Select all from Scott@DM. Okay, so we good, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, considering the fact that I want to transport PT work, PTAPP, PS work, and PT3, I'm going to move those tables, right? I'm going to move those tables to one of those table spaces, right? So alter table, oops. Alter table, class evening. I'm going to move it. Move table, sorry. Move table space to.
Please, I have a question. Are we connected as TLS in TLS?
No, you're still in ORCL.
Okay, because it says you have to transport from TLS DMO to ORCL.
Let me drop this to. I'm still connected to ORCL. Yes, I didn't connect back. Let me just drop. Last evening. Drop.
So the schema as well is going to be in TLS DMO, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Drop. I need to be connected as system. Okay, user drop. So we're good. Let's connect to TLS demo. I hope it's not your TLS is not crashed.
No, not that one.
Connected to either instance, usually it's something to worry about.
Really? Oh no, it's
okay,
no, it's good.
I'm just going to recreate the user. Okay, I'm going to create the other table. Okay. Now I want to move those tables to.
You didn't create the table space.
Excuse me?
I think you forgot to create those table space.
Right, I need to create a table space as well. And I need to connect back to ORCL.
I mean, can I just do that on WinSCP? I could just drop them from WinSCP.
How will you drop them on WinSCP? We need to drop them logically.
Oh.
Yes.
Excuse me, I don't know. You created it in two different databases?
That's why I'm dropping them in ORCL.
Okay. Okay, you want to import it now to ORCL.
Excuse me?
Okay, you want to import now. You want to import the table spaces now in the tables now in ORCL.
No. I want to drop it now.
Right. And later you would import it, right? Or what?
And then I want to recreate them, and I want to recreate them
On TLS demo.
in TLS demo and then transport them to ORCL.
Okay. You importing or transporting?
Table space PT work does not exist. I.
Yeah, you put X. No, you put different names.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gave different names, including content and data files. I always thought you had to drop all the data files before dropping the table spaces.
Actually, since it has a different name, I could just have. Okay, one. Including content and data files. PT3, including content and data files. Oh, forgot the X. Okay, so it's dropped, it's gone. /data/ORCL. Actually, they weren't even there. They were in TLS demo. I'm going to connect back to TLS demo. I already created sysADM, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this back and just paste it. So I'm creating the 4 table spaces. Okay. I actually want to see the assignment itself. Okay. Transport table spaces work. Perform table spaces PT work, PTAPP, PS work from TLS demo from ORCL. Okay, so we have okay. Now that we have the table spaces, what I want to do is I want to move the tables into one of those table spaces, right? We already know that the tables are owned by sysADM. Right?
Okay, so you want to move both tables to one of the table spaces?
Yes, because they're the one being exported, right? sysADM identified by sysADM.
I don't get it. Sorry. So you say what is being exported? The table spaces are being exported.
Yes. But the table spaces contain the tables, right? So I want to move those tables into those table spaces because right now those tables are part of different table spaces. You can always check.
Yeah, but they're owned by sysADM.
Yes. But if they are in a different table space, and those one are the one being exported, they won't be present in the other database when doing the import.
Okay.
Are we good? Let's describe DBA underscore users. Let's select default table space. From DBA underscore users, where user name equals sysADM. You see the default table space here is system.
Okay. So that means those tables are in system.
Exactly.
Okay.
Means those tables are in system. But we are not going to export system, right?
Right.
So even if they are owned by a user, even though they are owned by that user, even though we do the export as that user, the fact that those table spaces are not owned by that user, right? We're not going to be able to do it. Are we good?
Yes.
The fact that those table spaces are not the ones that will be exported, there's nothing we can do. Even though that user owns it, right, owns the tables, because they're not part of the table space, they won't be present. So it's not enough to just give the table to that user. No, it's not enough. To the tables, the object, whatever object it is, doesn't have to be a table. It can be a synonym, it can be index, it can be any other object, right? They have to be part of the table space. So you need to move them to the table space. So this is what we're going to do here. Alter table. Remove the table.
Evening 1, evening and evening 2.
Actually, it's just evening. It's not class evening.
It's oh no, actually this is a different one.
It's class evening.
Yeah, class evening.
The table space, class evening. We are going to move them to the table space, PT work. Guys, please ask questions if you have questions.
XPT work.
Oh, XPT work. That X. PT work. And I'm going to do the same thing for 2, right? Table space. XPTAPP.
Okay, please. So let's say we're doing this for a different person, and then they don't just have like tables in their schema that make up their schema. How
Yes.
are you supposed to know what you should move? For instance, if they have can they own sequences? I don't know.
If the user only has sequences, then the sequences will be imported. And the
So,
sequence
like,
will be known by the user.
Oh yeah, so the only things you have to move to the table spaces are the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm confused.
Man, okay. Mr. Joe, go ahead. Miss Eva, I'm confused.
I'm
Yeah.
confused.
What?
Can you go to the question?
The thing is, this morning, right, we did question 1 first. And then I realized that for us to do question 2, for us to do the whole thing quickly, it's best to just start by looking at question 1, because you cannot remap a user. There's no point in remapping a user. You can't actually. You can only remap a schema. And what's a schema? A schema is a user that owns objects, right?
Right.
So if sysadm is just a user that you created and that has a privilege to do whatever, there's nothing you can do. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
Emerald, I want you to explain something to me, please.
Go ahead.
On this question, they say transport table spaces, PT, and all those are the table spaces. So
Yes.
I see you creating class evening 2, and then putting them. Please, can you explain that part to me? Why you created them and then now you're putting them in the table space?
I'm creating them because of question 2. Question 2 says remap schema from sysadm to HR, right? So you saw that we just created sysadm, right? So,
Yeah.
so sysadm was just a user. It wasn't a schema yet because it didn't own any object. Are we good?
Okay, so what about this, this
But
X?
for remap schema to make sense, sysadm has to be a schema. I'm not gonna lie, we skipped that when we did the assignment. We didn't even bother. We just did 1, 2, and the first question, and we didn't bother with question 2. But for that question to actually make sense, you need to make sure that you remap. For you to be able to remap a schema, it has to be a schema, not a user. Very good. So it has to own objects. It has to own objects. Otherwise, it will tell you unknown. Sys ADM unknown, even though sys ADM exists, even though it's sys ADM who did the export job. Are we good?
So question, so how is question 1 and 2 related? Because like 1, you have to move from TLS DMO, the table spaces from TLS DMO, and then you have to remap sys ADM to HR.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that I don't know who put those questions together, but
yeah, like I don't see the relation there.
Exactly, especially that they don't tell you before to create sys ADM, right, and to create tables. Exactly. But I guess it's because, well, it's chapter 9, so they assume that you guys should know how to deal with that. I guess I didn't make those questions. So yes, I know it makes it complicated, but this is just the way it is. For you to be able to do question 2, sys ADM has to be a schema, not just a user. That's why we created the tables. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
it's okay. You guys are good. You guys are good. No worries.
Schema.
Someone is asking something, or can I move on? Okay, now I'm going to be doing the export. I'm ready for the export job. So I'm going to create a directory -dv /data/pump. Okay. So we created it. Now I'm going to create the logical directory. Create or is that should be the name of the directory. This morning we called it DB9 or something like that. Okay, create or replace directory DB9 as Are we good?
Yes.
So I'm going to grant read right directory DB9 to what's the name? Sys ADM. Oops. To sys ADM. Yeah, I'm connected as sys ADM. Okay, let me connect as migrant data pump exp database to sys ADM. Are we good?
Yes.
Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of those table space in read only. You guys remember when we did the first part of assignment 9, we put it in read only, right? So this is what Arman did in the background.
Emerald, did you have to grant that to sys ADM because he had the privilege, the sysdba privilege? The grant data pump export.
Sys ADM?
Yeah.
I know that only sys or system can do it, but let me check that role. Let me check that role. Let me check. I'm not sure. DB underscore roles. Let's check the roles. You can always check.
Okay.
Sys. I will need to revoke that one first. Let me revoke it. Revoke from sys ADM. Five sys. Yes. It's DBA underscore sys underscore proofs. So instead of sys, I'm going to use row. Okay. I'm just going to select all from DBA underscore row. DBA underscore row underscore. All of them. I'm going to be looking for sys ADM.
Okay.
Just copy that back.
Sys ADM or sys DBA?
Sys ADM.
No, because like you granted you granted DBA to sys ADM.
Yes, it's for the user. Where grantee equals sys ADM. Okay. Granted role is DBA.
No.
Okay, now I want to, okay. Now I want to see the privileges of the DBA role, like all the privileges of the DBA role. Sys underscore DBA underscore system privilege. Select all from DBA underscore where grantee equals sys ADM. Limited table space, really.
So this is saying that the DBA role just gives you unlimited table space.
Yes.
Anyways, okay.
Okay, so it has unlimited table space, but that's normal because of the DBA role. That's not exactly. Let me connect as sys ADM. going to select all from, instead of DB, I'm going to use user. All the privileges. We only have unlimited table space here. So this is all we have here. We don't have data pump. I was looking for data pump, but we don't have it.
Okay.
We don't have data pump. So I would need to grant the data pump role. But in the DBA, there are other privileges in the DBA role.
Okay.
Reservoir space is empty. Okay, let me connect back as this. But you can always check all the privileges of DBA for the DBA role for 11G.
Okay.
So always find.
Okay, so
Let's move on.
I wanted to grant export.
Yes. Grant data pump underscore export underscore full underscore database to
Sys ATM.
ATM.
Oh, typo.
Rat doesn't exist. Okay. So we have the logical directory, we have the physical directory. Did I grant read and write on the directory to that user?
Oh, don't know. I mean, you can just grant it again.
But that user has DBA privilege, guys. Why are we shooting ourselves, granting all this stuff?
See, that's what I was wondering too. I thought this was included in there, but
okay. The thing is, I'm not sure it's included. I don't think it's included.
okay. But it doesn't hurt to grant, so.
You just check the privilege, right? We had unlimited table space and we had DBA. That's for the role.
Yeah.
And unlimited table space. Okay, I'm still connected as sys, right? Okay, let me use the same, but instead of sys ADM, I'm going to put sys, for example.
I think because all we need to see is the privileges that you get with DBA privilege. So.
You see the difference?
Yeah.
Sys has data pump. Let me see. It has data pump.
ML, you should have put the DBA, not sys, because the user have the DBA privilege.
No, I'm comparing it to sys ADM.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
And the grantee has to be a user.
Right. Let me go slowly. Create, materialize, you draw public database link. Import full database, you see?
Okay.
One of the privileges here. And you should have export full database somewhere as well.
So
export full database, you see? So
Yeah.
when you list the privileges of the user, it will show you the privileges of that user.
What that column ADM, what does that stand for? Like all the no's and the yes?
Admin option. Remember admin option, grant option?
Yeah. Okay.
Now that we granted export, now let's do the same for sys ADM. Sys ADM. Did we granted it to sys ADM?
I think you did. Yeah, you did.
But it doesn't appear. Okay. I guess so. Okay. So let's move on to, honestly, I usually grant, even though it has DBA, because from the notes from Oracle, it says that only sys has that privilege, only sys, and sys has the sys DBA privilege. So it didn't specify only DBA privileges, right? It says only sys has that privilege. So that's why I always grant, but I'm actually curious to see if the if the DBA role includes. Yeah. Okay, let's just continue. I'll look it up during the break and I'll come back to this. Okay, so after that, let's well, start the export, actually. I think it starts for the export. We already granted the privileges, so let's start the export. So EXPDP, we do the export as sys ADM, right? Identified by sys ADM. Directory is year 9, right? File is 9.dump. The log file is, you guys see the whole screen?
No, ML, that was what I was about to say.
What were you about to say?
That
I can see the screen?
That should centralize it.
Okay, well, now it's centralized. The log file is 9.log. And then transportable tablespace. Port underscore table spaces equals. Now you want to add all the table spaces that we have here. So we have ex pt work. Then expt exp expt. Please, Bello, can you mute that person? Thank you. Ex, what's the last?
TAA something.
TAA. Those, just the words are just
PTAPP.
PTAPP, right?
Yeah, I think there's a, yeah, that's it.
You think there's what?
Yeah, that's it.
That's not two way.
EXPDP. EXPDP.
No,
Yes.
I thought you wanted to export it to ORCL.
Yes.
So
What?
okay, one of first of all exporting, then you import now to ORCL.
I'm exporting now, right? I'm still exporting to ORCL. Now I'm exporting from TLSDMO to the directory.
I thought you were like do it directly.
What do you mean?
Like moving from TLSDMO directly to ORCL.
No, okay.
With the database link.
Okay, I need to create an extra data file. So alter table space temp, add temp file slash data slash TLSDMO slash temp 02.dbf size 50M. Okay, so now let's run the export again.
Really?
Oh, that's the wrong command.
So that temporary table space it's funny, but I didn't have that problem a lot with my temporary table space. Maybe because I always gave them.
It drove me crazy for the exam, the DB1 exam. Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry, I need to, and you first need to put them in read-only mode. I thought it was already done. Okay, now they're in read-only mode. Now I'm going to run the export. So the table space have to be in read-only mode, even just to perform the export. And when for you to copy the files, they have to be in read-only mode. So first put them in read-only mode and then perform the export.
You say when to copy the files? You have to
Yes.
put them, okay.
Yes, you'll see. So here we are exporting the metadata of the table space, right? We are not exporting them physically. We are only exporting the metadata. So we need to copy the metadata. We need to copy the data files physically and then map the metadata into the data files. Are we good?
No.
It makes sense. Let's wait for the export to be done.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm just curious.
Yes.
Okay, so after you're done with the export, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all the stuff now they will now go now to the DOM file. So my question now is, after that, would you connect that to ORCL and import it or what?
That's what we are doing, right? Then we are not done yet. Let's continue, right?
Okay, so I'm just cool.
Yes, the export is done, right?
Yes.
The table spaces are still in read-only mode.
Mm-hmm.
right? So people can read them, but cannot make changes. Now we are going to go to /oradata/TLS demo, while the table spaces are still in read-only mode. And then we are going to copy all the files belonging to those table spaces. If we started with X, I was about to copy example. Okay, EXPT work, EX blah blah, the next one, and then the last one. So we are going to copy all of them to /oradata/oralcl.
Oh.
Are we good? So when we did the export, we only, we exported the metadata, but the data files were still not in /oradata/oralcl. Are we good? So if I list /oradata/oralcl, they were copied there. They are there, right? Now that we are done with that, we can put our table space back in read and write. So I'm going to put them back in read and write. Once the copying is done, you can put them back in read and write. They don't need to be in read only anymore. So they need to be in read only mode when you're doing the export, right? And they also need to be in read only mode when you're copying. After that, you can put them back read and write. So we are done with ORCL. Nothing else to do. We are done with TLS. Let's go back to ORCL. Now for ORCL, we want to do the import.
Yeah.
Now the question says that, let me go back to the questions. Now the question says that remap schema from sysadm to HR, transport table spaces, PT work, PT PPA from, okay. So we are going to do the same thing here. The first thing you want to do is to unlock HR, right? After user HR, identified by HR, count, unlock. Are we good?
Yes.
I'm going to do the import as HR. So I'm going to grant read. Actually, I need to do the directory. Create or replace directory year 9 as /oradata/PAM. Okay. Grant read write on directory year 9 to HR, right? Grant data PAM underscore IMP underscore full underscore database to HR. Okay, so HR is ready to import. Any question?
No.
So would you remap the stuff?
Not yet.
When do you remap?
When you're doing the import.
Thank you. You remap when doing the import.
We are about doing the import right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Directory is year 9. Year 9, right?
Yeah.
That's the name of the dump file we used. No, it has to be the same dump file, right?
9.log.dump.
9.dump.
Yeah.
And then the log file is
9.log.
something. It has to be different.
Oh, it has to be. Oh, it has to be different.
Yes.
The dump file can be the same, but the log file.
The log file has to be different. That's why some of you, when you did your assignment,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if when you did the exam, I couldn't tell if some of the questions were actually right, because when I went to check the dump file, it showed an error, but you did it. That's because you use the same log file. You have different log files for the import and for the export. Very good. Now, very important step is I'm going to use transport data file this time. Instead of table space, I'm going to use transport data file. And then I'm going to specify the path of those data files. Are we good? So you have /ora data, /oralcl, /expt. Let me just copy. So those are all the files. I was going to type it, but this is just going to take me too long.
Oh, you didn't remap?
Yes, I need to remap. So let me just write this down somewhere. Okay, here I already have remap schema, so I'm going to use that one. I didn't want it to run. Okay. The name is dir9. The name of the log file is 9. That one is fine. Remap schema, then transportable data files. So I wanted to make sure that I had remap. I'm going to remap anything.
Emerald.
Yes.
I didn't catch that step to remap.
Remap is right here. Remap is not, remap is nothing new. We did that in DB1, right? Remap schema sysadm to HR. Right?
Okay. So so you're just simply remapping by the user to HR.
Yes.
Okay.
From sysadm to HR, right? Now, do you guys remember the table that we used? HR dot, if it was successful, I should just come and check evening class or class evening.
Class evening.
Okay, that's true.
So it was successful, right? I have that table here, but it belongs to HR now. And now.
Wait, hold on, please.
Yes.
Okay, HR.
But
what is this?
What is what?
What is this? Like the HR dot, oh, because we selected from, okay, got it.
Yeah, we remapped it, right?
No, I was like wondering where we got this information from, but we created the tables by selecting from HR dot regions.
Yes. That department. Okay, so now you guys remember that when we did the transportable table spaces, when we did the export, the database were in read-only mode, right? And when we copied the files, they were still in read-only mode. So right now they are still in read-only mode. So you want to bring them back to read and write, right?
Right.
Did I delete? I have to type it. Okay. And the other ones, exptapp, read, write, and then exps, work, read, write, and then EX. What's the last one?
No, that network, man.
Let me just check. Those names, honestly, when
EXPT3.
PT3.
Yeah.
PT3. PT3.
So you put them
in read and write mode now.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
Read only. So read only was before the export.
Right.
And import.
Yes. When you import, they are still in read only mode, right? That's how you put them back in read and write. Right? Are we good?
No, actually no. So from ORCL, no, we are in TLSDMO. From TLSDMO, when we did the export, we put it in read only.
Right.
So when we get to ORCL, it will still be in read only.
Yes, it was still in read only. That's why you move them to read and write. Because the files that we copied were in read only mode, and when we did the export, they were in read only mode, right?
Right.
So it's normal that when you do the import, they are still in read only mode.
Okay.
You guys are breaking. Where's my network?
It's your network.
The network sucks.
Are
we good?
Yes. You say you were going to send us something, Emerald.
Oh, I'll change my mind.
You change your mind. Okay.
I'm joking. We'll see that together. We'll see it together after.
If you don't do that, don't change your mind.
But I really want you to show us how to do that point in time recovery, like for the full database. Because like
okay.
I didn't know what I was doing wrong.
Okay. Do you still have the backup?
I do.
Okay.
It's in FRA.
Okay. And you did it with TLSDM or ORCL?
ORCL. Yeah,
okay,
ORCL.
Guys, right now is a break. So we're taking a 20-minute break, but in the meantime, I'm just going to be doing the point in time recovery. So it's break time. Don't ask for extra break time later.
That's not fair.
What? Break time now, like.
That's not. I wanted
the server would get really slow, so you can take your break now, but we'll be working on some stuff. That's what I'm saying.
Emerald, please can you check my ORCL3 a little bit? I want to see if like the files look, because some of the files are in FRA when I switch to copy. So I don't know if that's how it's supposed to look like.
Wow. Okay.
See, like the server, yeah.
Is that how it's supposed to be?
That's how. Okay.
But why stop? Why stop? Oh, stop. We're not. Okay. Stop hacking into other servers. Okay. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look like. That's what it's supposed to look.
Okay. Okay. Because I wasn't sure. But then if I didn't want it to look like this, I would just have to rename it, right?
Yes, you would just rename them. Yes. Okay. Or switch back to copy and give them the right name. Or switch to copy basically and give them the right name when switching to
copy. Okay. Oh yeah. Can you please check my? So we're doing the point in time recovery.
Yes.
Or ORCL.
But to do the point in time recovery, we need to.
I have a time if you want. Actually, if we do it, it's going to cancel everything we did today.
That's actually great.
Really? Oh yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, you are not supposed to. Okay, do you remember the time when did you do your assignment?
I have at times, honestly, I was up all night doing it.
Okay, so before that, when did you?
The first backup, can you just check from the backup location?
Okay.
Because the time I have here is like 1:49, and I wasn't sure if that was the correct one, but I just wanted to do anything.
Okay. A moment, guys. Looks like they overwritten themselves. Wait. No, the time is different. Okay. Today is the 22nd, right? All your backups are
yes.
from today.
Yeah.
Midnight 55. Midnight 55. Yes.
Can we do a point in time recovery as to when we created a database?
Do you still have the backup for that? And the archive notes for that? If you do, okay. If you don't, no. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to see a time. Or we can also use backup set if you don't have data file. Let's check your backup sets.
Yeah, because I think I got the information from my backup set, like to restore the control file.
But they are all from today. I was expecting all the.
Oh, like I said, I was up all night doing it. So yes.
Are you sure that you said redundancy to 6?
It's 4 right now.
Okay, 4. Connect to Arman. Oh, it doesn't look like. Normally, you should have all the backups in that.
All the backup sets?
All the backups, whether image copy or backup sets, they are all from today.
Yes,
yes,
I haven't used this database in so long. Like it was crashed, then I was able to.
It makes
open
sense.
it
You
to do
see,
the
it's
assignment.
redundancy for, yes, 1, 2. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's best to put recovery window of 4 days or 2 days at least. So you did perform 4 backup since.
They're not all, I don't think they were all full database backups though.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, but.
Yeah, the backup set doesn't look like a full database backup. I'm not sure I'm following any task. So you didn't take a full database backup before doing it?
I did take a full database backup before doing it.
But
before doing, let's see, question.
It looks like because all your backups are from today, all of them, you should have some backups from at least yesterday or something. But they are all from.
But I started doing them today. The assignment, I started doing it like at midnight.
Midnight?
Yeah.
Okay, let's then do a point in time recovery to midnight, if we can do that. Right? Arman is not going to make up Arman target.
So that means it's got like
going to use the run
for
block.
all those other extra table spaces I created, is just gonna erase all those then.
Yes.
Okay.
Set until time. You have the time or the SCN?
I have a time, at least from what I know, is 0149.
Okay.
014947.
You sure? For the day?
Today, yeah, it's today.
June 2020. Okay. The time you said 01?
Yeah.
Okay.
4947.
Right? Like this?
And yeah, and I actually got that from when I logged into, after I completed my first assignment, or I think, after when I logged into SQL, it tells you the time. So that's where I got that from.
Okay. And your database was still up, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that was after I was done with the switch to copy. So question 2.
Okay, let's use the run block and see. Set until time. I wanted to put midnight, but let's try that time first. If it's gonna give us. Okay. Is before reset logs time. So you did open the reset logs after that. You created a new incarnation. Let's list incarnation.
Oh yeah, I think that was when I was trying.
Yes.
Oh, hold on, please don't close this. No, it's not this. It's not this.
Yes, so we are connected to TLSDM or ORCL. TLSDM, ORCL, right?
Yeah, ORCL.
Okay. So there is a new incarnation that was created today, but it doesn't show the time. And there is another incarnation that was created yesterday.
Wait, did we not just do like create a new incarnation now, like before doing the assignment?
When?
When you reset logs?
When?
Like before doing this assignment? Because I told you my ORCL was crashed and then, you know.
Oh, yes, your ORCL was crashed. Yeah, we opened the reset logs earlier. Okay.
So does it matter? Like.
Yes.
It does, okay.
But let's reset database to incarnation. That cannot change recovery target incarnation in the control file. So we are going to need to crash, not crash. We need new control file. We need the older control files.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because like it asked me to recover the control files or something like that.
Yes, we need the old control file for they have the previous incarnation information. So let's do it. Let's go to /data.
You know, actually, I think maybe it's better if you do it with someone else because I just really wanted like the straight way of doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted like the straight way of actually performing this point in time because we never actually got to finishing. You
finished. We did it in class.
Yeah, we did, but like the servers were always slow.
Or maybe it's the morning, the evening, yeah, maybe. But last time we did it, and it was with your server. It's just that the server was slow, but it finished. So you know the process.
Yeah, but that one was different because we had to delete all the files. But here, that's why I was asking, to do a point in time recovery, do you have to delete all the files? Because on that question, we crashed the whole database, we deleted everything, and then we did a point in time recovery.
Yes. You need to do point in time recovery. You need new control files. So you need to remove those control files that you have. But I cannot do a point. Okay, let me just change then from 1 to, time is it? Let's do point in time recovery to right now, to like 5 minutes ago.
Okay.
20, 51, 59. Okay, let's do point in time recovery to 5 minutes ago. 20, 30. That's better? Hopefully your database wasn't crashing. No, I don't think so. No backup of data file 35, 34, 33, 32.
Oh,
You
yeah.
didn't
'cause
take a backup.
yeah, we didn't back up those, like the last assignment that we just did. Right? We didn't back them up, those new files that you just created.
Let me bring it to another point in time before we did that. In that case, when you have new data files like that, it's best to just
Yeah, I think the files was already created.
it's yeah, that's why I'm saying that it's good to go back to before the files were created. Let's try to go to 19. But it has to be before the files were created, but at the same time, after the backup, after resetting the logs. So it has to be, that's why it's always good to make sure you check the time when you're doing making the changes. Here I'm just guessing, I don't know the exact same time when we did all this.
But if you go
backup
back on your server, you might be able to see it, right? Like goes like when you after
history wouldn't show you the time.
No, but we can
not
see,
really history. Like if you go up, like after your backup, maybe you could, if you connect it to SQL.
Yes.
I have a suggestion. Maybe we should go to this into chase file. Then we'll check the alert log.
When did you see the time in the alert log? We tried that last class, right? We didn't see anything.
It's there because yesterday when I was doing my polling time, so I forgot to take the time. So I went out my alert log. Then I scrolled all the way down. Then I started going up. Then I saw it.
Okay, let's check. Last time I think we did it together, right? We didn't see any information. I think it was with the morning class. But let's check. We might find it. We might find what we're looking for. Sometimes you will find it. Sometimes you won't. Now you have a lot. You need to clean this up.
Is there an alert log here?
That's what I'm looking for.
So just like I wish.
Yeah, you need to clean this up, Anita.
So just clear everything out.
Yeah, that's good.
Table space reader. I want to see if it's going to be have the backup. Before the backup, or just before creating the files. After opening, okay. I think we definitely have after the base open reset logs. Okay, there we have it. At 1852.
Right.
So create small file. Okay, so yes, between 52 and 54. That's the only time when we can do that.
Okay.
So let's say
1853.
The thing is, when we do the backup, we need to have done the backup too. If you don't have a backup between 52 and 54, it won't let us do it. It would have been done if after opening.
It has to be after the reset logs. Okay.
Yes.
So it's not right after a backup.
It's after reset logs.
Okay.
And the backup from that. We need to have a backup for that from that reset. But the thing is, you can also do a point in time recovery before the reset logs if you set the incarnation to another time. The thing is that you need to change the control files. Restore the control file from that specific point in time, right? That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Okay, let me try to put it at 1853 instead. But to be honest, at that it works because we didn't have a backup in that time. Me report. What the file 31? It's system. come we didn't backup system?
Data file 31 is system. How come?
No, it's student.
Oh, student. Okay.
Failure of restore command cannot obtain exclusively for data file 1 input is data file 56 copy. So you see, we don't have the backup. And this is the name of the system. This is from a previous incarnation.
Huh, interesting. So you cannot do a point in time recovery unless you reset the logs. A backup.
What
with
do you mean?
reset logs. Because like I said, I know I did a backup.
You don't have to reset the logs. I mean, if your database was crashed and you reset the logs, right? You have to back up right after doing
the reset. Oh yeah, you're right.
Logs.
You're right. You're right. You
After
mentioned
that backup, you can do any point in time recovery, right?
Yeah.
But here, the problem we have here is that as soon as we open the reset logs, we added a new data, right? But the thing is, you can do a point in time recovery. Even in this case, we can still do a point in time recovery, except that we have to reset to the previous incarnation. But for us to reset to a previous incarnation, changes would be made to the control file, because you know that when we reset the logs, it modifies the control file, right? It modifies the data file header, it modifies the SCN in the control files. So the control files are changed. So you need to restore those old control files to be able to perform a point in time recovery after resetting to the other incarnation. Are we good?
Okay. Yeah. So just for the record, every time I do reset log, I always have to back up the full database. Okay. Now, if I had like a database backups for a different day, we could have used those, or would that still would not be good because we didn't do a backup after resetting the logs.
If you did a backup right away?
Because like you were looking for like a previous day, backups from a previous day. But then the thing is like today we did reset logs without taking another backup. So my question is, would this have worked even though we didn't take a backup?
Yes, it will have worked because the incarnation wasn't different. It was the same incarnation.
Okay.
As long as it's the same incarnation, you can do point in time recovery if you have the backup. You can do point in time recovery till whatever time. But when it's a different incarnation, you will need to have new control files. You cannot open reset log to the previous incarnation. No.
So if it's so I could actually in this case, what I'll have to do is get the control files from the previous incarnation, and then I can do the point in time recovery.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what's for in your case, yes. Just restore the control file from that time, right?
Okay.
Just run set until that time, restore control file.
Okay. And then run this command.
Right.
Okay. No need to delete my files, right?
Since, yeah, you need to delete your files. You won't need them anymore. You didn't need to delete your files if you were doing a point in time recovery within the same incarnation. But since you're going to a different incarnation, you have to delete your files.
Okay.
Are you good?
Yes, thank you.
So now we're going to talk about backups and backups and backups and backups. So This one is interactive for the whole class. Today is the last day we are doing chapter 9. Was it good, chapter 9? Was it confusing? Any question on chapter 9? We are back from break though.
I guess, again, practice makes perfect.
Yeah,
Right.
just practice. Honestly, that one, just practice. And just make sure you have it somewhere in your notepad so that if it comes at work, you can just use it. You don't have to. Yes. At least understand the concept. That's the most important. Right?
Yeah.
So,
and also you said you were going to show us about the editing the listener files when you're creating.
Oh yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I'm gonna show you. Oh, I didn't show the morning class. But it's okay, I'll show them next time. Product 11 network. Okay, perfect. So you don't want to have this. This is something you don't want to have. So instead of having SID listener list, you want to remove that and that too. And then leave it like that.
Okay. So now that you changed it, do I have to do anything to the database? Would I have to like shut down the listener and start it again?
Yeah, you can start, you can rebound the listener. So this is the way it should be, right? So instead of putting every time SID listeners for listener for every database, it's actually very bad because at some point it will only read the first ones and the rest of them you won't be able to read them, right? So what you want to do is to list all of them in the under the SID list listener, right? So that they are all listed here, right?
Right.
Otherwise, it will give you problem. If it doesn't give you problem now, it will give you problem when doing data guard. So just take that habit already. We good?
Yes. Thank you.
So SID list and list listener are gone. Just leave SID underscore desk. And now I have a question for the whole class. We're going to talk about, actually, I don't want to use that. I need to send it to the morning class. I totally forgot. Okay, let's try to do a quick recap of all the clonings and all the backups that we've been doing so far, right? You know that cloning, backups, all of those are very important part of DBA job. It's actually daily DBA job. So what are the different types of backup that we have seen so far? Backups. And then we break them down.
User manage cold backup, user manage hot backup.
Incremental backup.
Cold
User
backup
manage cold backup. Okay. User manage hot backup. Okay. Cold backup. Hot backup. Right? Right?
Right.
Now, from all those backups, they can be cloned, right? We can use them to clone all of them, right? But before getting there, full backups. Old, full, let's just say. Oh. Okay. Now, who can tell me about the user managed call backup? What's the specificity of a user managed call backup?
The database has to be shut down.
Incomplete.
Huh?
Incomplete. Your answer is incomplete, Anita.
The database has to be shut down, but the sys, I don't know.
Okay, everyone, can I try?
Try.
Okay, for the user managed code backup, it is done when the database is offline and the data files are copied during this backup, and it doesn't require the database to be
Incomplete. Same. Incomplete. There is a very important keyword here that you guys are missing.
Emma, Emma,
Yes. There is a very, very important keyword. It's not just shut down.
okay, so
Consistent shutdown.
Yes. Thank you. Just be shut down consistently. Very important, because you can shut down a board. Let's put that. You can shut down a board.
Are you in the game yet?
And your database is inconsistent. You know that. You guys know that every time you shut down a board and you restart a database, there is recovery that takes place, right?
Oh, you're not playing the game there anymore?
Right? When you shut down a board to your database, recovery takes place, and when you restart the database.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so shut down a board cannot be an option. So it's not just when the database has to be shut down, because the database may crash and you back up and you perform a cold backup and you think, okay, I can use it to clone or to do, but no, it's bad.
I'm gonna join you.
You wouldn't even be able to do a point in time recovery using that clone, using that backup, right? So this is a very important aspect. It has to be consistent, shut down, whether shut down normal, shut down immediate, whatever shutdown, but not abort, right? It has to be a consistent shutdown. Okay, what else?
Next, you gather all the location of the data file control files, and you gather all the paths, like where they are kept, where they are stored, their live location.
Excuse me?
I'm saying after you've shut down your database, right? You have to go now to your live location, and you have to check the path of all your control files, your data file, temp file, and log file.
Why?
Because you need them you need to copy it and back it up.
So you check the path of your control file in the operating system or logically?
No, logically where they are.
So, and you do that after the database is shut down?
Absolutely, before.
I played this one too, and I found a lot.
You need to do it before.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point, actually. Before shutting down.
Yes, we are. We're not in real life.
Right?
Yes.
So we need to check the location of the files. But I'm not talking about the steps here. I'm talking about what is it, if someone asks you, how would you define a user managed code backup? And you guys remember that in DB1 Pro, you got, if someone asks you what's a table space, right? You don't just say, oh, a table space is a logical structure, right? No, you don't just stop there. You have to add things. You have to specify. Table space can be offline, can be read only, read and write. You can add data file. You can map data file. You map data files to table spaces, right? You can have tables inside a table space. You can have indexing. You can specify, add a lot of things rather than just stop to, okay, it's a logical structure, right?
Yeah, you can have. Sorry.
User managed code backup. Say everything you know about user managed code backup, because from there we will explain all the clonings and then the difference between active-based duplication and backup-based duplication.
Okay. You have whole database backups and you have full backups.
Right.
The difference between the two is that a full backup is ready for incremental backups, incremental level 0 backup.
What did you say?
Anita.
Huh?
No, Anita.
What? Well, you have the whole database backup and you have the full database backup. And the difference between the two is that the full database backup is ready for level 0.
No, Anita. Different between, I won't add it here because this is for us to talk about cloning. So
Okay.
when we talk about incremental and all that, we're starting to talk about incomplete backup, just backing up blocks, right? But the difference between whole database backup and full database backup is that when you do a full database backup, you're backing up all the files basically. So you're not backing up the control file, the SP file, you're just backing up the database, right? But when performing a whole database backup, you're backing up the control file, the SP file, the archive logs. So all of them. This is a whole database backup with now. You don't compare full backup. You compare full database backup to level 0 incremental backup, right? Because they're the same thing, except that one is ready for level 1 incremental backup and the other one is not. Database backup is not ready for level 1 incremental backup, but level 0 backup is a backup that you can apply level 1 incremental backups to, whether cumulative or differential, right? So that's the only difference between the two. That one is ready for incremental, one is not. Like we talked about last time. Like twin sisters, one can have kids, the other one can't. So it's basically the same thing here, right? So you compare level 0 and full database backup. Level 0 is ready for incremental level 1, and full database backup is not. You cannot perform level 1 incremental backup with a cumulative or differential from a full database. You have to first do a level 0 incremental backup. Even though they might look identical, but you cannot perform level 1 backup from a full database backup. Are we good?
Yep.
Now let's go back to, but don't worry guys, we do that in chapter 11 again. Chapter 11 is backup strategies. So that would probably be on Friday. Chapter 11 will be on Friday. Chapter 10 doesn't take much time. It will be done in 2 hours and then just do the assignments. Okay, what else do you guys remember about cold backup? This is from DB1.
So callback is also known as offline back. Cold backup is also known as offline backup or consistent backup.
Okay.
And it should be done when the database is shut down.
Okay.
And it's also, because in my opinion, it's also one of the safest way to back up your database, because it avoids the risk of copying a data file, or it avoids the risk of copying a data file while it is in the process of being updated.
Yes, you say it's safe.
In my opinion, it's the safest way to back up your database.
Okay. When shut down consistently, right?
Yes.
Let me just type it normally. When shut down consistently, it is indeed, it can indeed be the safe way. It is indeed the safe way, the safest way. So it is, I mean, it can be, not it is. It can be a safe way to back up. Now, what else? Now, let's talk about the disadvantages. What are the disadvantages of cold backup?
You have to shut down your database.
Right, downtime. That's the big turnoff. That's the huge turnoff. Downtime, right?
The data loss.
Right, that's another big data loss, right? What else?
No more disadvantages.
No more? Okay, elaborate then on downtime, data loss.
Downtime?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just means that you have to shut down the database and no one else can use it. Use the database while you're backing it up. And also it could take a lot of time to back up. Backups could take long.
Now, data loss. Give me 2 examples of data loss from code backup.
2 what?
2 examples.
Like if a changes is being made, right? And we probably want to restore it, you won't be able to restore the changes.
Okay, tell me his password.
Okay, so we cannot restore
An update.
We cannot update.
We cannot restore an update or restore the changes.
Can you say that again?
I'm just trying to look for a better word. I'm saying we cannot restore any changes that was being made when the database was shut down because we were backing up.
No changes was made, the database was shut down. I need an example for data loss. It's a good example, but I need an example. I mean, it's so good that you brought data loss, but when the database is down, it's shut down. People cannot even update anything. It's shut down.
I mean, you can lose customers when the database is down.
Yes, that's downtime. All of this go to downtime.
Okay, data loss.
Well, yeah, he has long hair, black.
Daniel, I see you're connected. Any suggestion?
Can you give us a clue?
Yes.
So go back up. We cannot do point in time recovery.
Excuse me?
So in call backup, we can't do point in time recovery.
We can or we cannot?
We cannot.
What? Really?
Yeah, in call backup.
How? This I cannot say yes to that. But you're close to the answer. I mean, to a good answer. Okay, let me say it. You can only perform a point in time recovery to specific time, right? Which would be since your last backup, right?
Well, that's what I said, but you put in a better word.
You can only perform a point in time to a specific point in time. You cannot do a point in time to 2 minutes before that backup or 2 minutes after that backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's only since that last backup. So that's a big disadvantage of cold backup. If you perform backup on Friday, and if you perform backup on Sunday, and your database crashes on Friday, and the only backup you have is that cold backup, you will have to go back to that point in time. Like, you don't have any option to go to Thursday or Monday. You can only go back, right? What's another thing about cold backup?
Requires a lot of space.
This is connected to both. They're both connected. The next point is they're both connected.
It requires space, right?
Why can't we do a point? Why can we only do point in time recovery to a specific time? Why? Why can we only do a point in time recovery to a specific time?
Well, because you don't have you were not in archive log mode, right?
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. So no archive log mode is needed. So we only perform a point in time recovery to a specific point in time, and we cannot go 2 minutes before, 2 minutes after, because we have no archive logs. And even if we have, we cannot apply archive logs for a consistent back, for a cold backup. Are we good?
I have one more.
Yes, what else?
Cold backup does not provide a single space to back up a table.
To back up a table?
Yeah, like to back up a single table. We can't do it in cold backup.
Okay, and yeah, you have to back up all the data files, right?
Yes. And it also requires a lot of space.
Yeah, all the backups require space, right? They're all the disadvantage of the backup. What else? Are we good? It's not like you can back up tables with the other options. Okay, but the way to back up a table is just to copy it and to create another table identical to that table. Okay. What else, guys? Try to compare what we ate this morning. That's good. Okay, now let's talk about cold cloning. What's a cold cloning? How is it determined? How do you identify what's a cold cloning to you guys? Also, the database has to be down when you perform a cold cloning.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
The data file which you're copying.
Cloning.
When performing a cold cloning, does the database has to be down?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Why? It doesn't have to.
No.
Thank you. Who said no?
Herman.
Herman, why? Can you tell us why, please? You're right, the database doesn't have to be shut down when you do a cold cloning. Why?
Really?
Yes.
You are playing the game, but
I'm waiting for what I will put after because. Aman.
Yes. Yeah, because we have to create, like, we have to back up the control file, and we also have to create the P file from that database.
Well, what are we gonna play now?
That's a good point. That's a good point, right?
Yep.
What else?
Write it down now.
Okay, let me put it somewhere. Create P file and backup.
No, you are my friend.
How to trace. What else? So the database doesn't have to be shut down during the duration, but there is a main reason why it doesn't have to be shut down. What is it? Okay, I'm gonna help you. Because we are using a backup, literally. You're using a backup of that database. So what does the database has to be shut down? And this is why there is confusion between active cloning, active-based duplication, and backup-based duplication. You are using the backup to clone. You're not using the database itself. Are we good? Meaning that if the backup was done on Sunday, you can use that backup from Sunday to clone the database and create a new one. So in the meantime, the database can be up and running without any problem. It can be a backup that was done yesterday night, and you clone using that old backup from yesterday night. And the database is up and running. So your database doesn't have to be shut down when performing any type of cloning, actually. Are we good?
So how do you equate it now to the active-based duplication and the? So how do you equate it now?
They're getting there. The backup-based duplication is that we are relying on the backup to clone. But the active-based duplication, we are relying on the live database itself to clone. So for all the other types of cloning, whether Arman cold backup, Arman backup-based duplication, cold backup, hard backup, all of them, we are using backups to clone. We are not using the live database. But for Arman active duplication, we are using the live database to clone. Are we good? It's like on TV, right? Sometimes you have live, sometimes you have shows like that perfume like 2 days before, and then they pretend it's the same day, but we all know it's not, right? But sometimes you have live, it's live from somewhere and then you watch it on TV. So it's the same. One is live, the other one is not live, right? Are we good?
But Emma, on DB1 when we was doing the core cloning, we
Yes.
shut down the database somewhere.
Yes, that's because you wanted to take the backup right now because you didn't have any backup before. Are you guys following what I'm saying? The database doesn't have to be, it's not that the database is not shut down. The simple fact is a cold cloning. We are using a cold backup. Okay, let me add that here. We are using a cold backup. Are we good about that? To perform a cold cloning, you're using a cold backup.
Yep.
So let me put it between parentheses. Can be 3 days old. You can still use it. We are using a backup. I'm even put it here. We are using a cold backup. That's even better. while cloning or while performing hot, cold cloning, the database is up since we are using cold backup. Are we good with that? Does it make sense? I want us to really see the difference between the two because it's confusing some people about active base and backup base. It seems like when we are doing cold backup, okay, the database has to be shut down when we copy. No, you can use an older backup to clone that database. You can use a backup from yesterday night to clone that database. You don't have to shut down the database right now. So you're using the backup, the target, the source database itself is not concerned. The relationship is between the cold backup and the target database. So it's the backup you got from the cold backup that you use to clone, not the live database itself. Are we good?
Okay. How do you feel, girl?
The database has to be shut down only if you're performing your cold backup. Only if you want to perform this cold backup right before cloning. But if you have another backup, cold backup, you can use that cold backup that was done yesterday night to do it. So your database does not have to be shut down at the time of performing the cloning. Are we good?
Okay.
Okay. What else from cold cloning? There's another thing that we have here. No archive logs needed, right? No archive logs needed.
Yeah.
You don't need archive logs to open the database. So it would be point in time recovery to a specific time, right? So you don't have the option like for hard backups to do point in time recovery or complete recovery, right? So this would be for cold cloning. Are we good?
Yeah.
Now let's talk about user managed hard backup. So this one was from DB1. Now let's talk about user managed hard backup.
So it's basically the opposite of cold backup, right?
What do you mean?
Like it should be taken when the database is up and running.
Yes.
Inconsistent.
Should be taken when database is up and running. That's correct. Right?
Yeah.
What else?
Need the archive log.
Yes.
Archive log.
Database must be in archive log mode.
We need a hot backup. We need a hot backup.
Need a hot backup?
Yeah.
Yes, I know what you mean. Database must be in backup mode, right?
Mm-hmm.
As in archive mode.
In backup mode too.
Okay.
Database must be in archive log mode and in backup mode.
Yeah.
The database must be in backup mode. It has to be in backup mode. Okay, what else?
No downtime.
Right, that's a good advantage, right? No downtime.
Yeah.
Zero downtime. What else? Positive aspect of it. Let's start with one negative. No downtime, but it requires a lot of resources, right?
I thought you said all backup require a lot of resources. So
Yes, but that one database is up, but it's slowing down. It slows down the database since it's up. I mean, the other one is even what it's shut down, but it's good to specify that it requires a lot of resources.
So here we can perform point in time.
Yes, we can perform point in time.
Point in time recovery.
Data files must be restored and recovered.
Yes. First restore and recover. Here, point in time recovery to specific. No recovery needed. This is for both cloning. You don't need to recover anything. You just restore and that's it. It's recovered to the time when you last back up, nothing else, right?
You need to reset the logs.
Not necessarily.
All right.
We are talking about just the hard backup, not the cloning yet.
Okay.
Emerald,
Yes.
that means that instead of cold backup, hot backup is the most is the safest backup, I think.
Why do you think so?
Because there's faster recovery. I mean, fast data recovery in hot
You
backup.
mean fast recovery or less data loss?
Fast recovery.
But that doesn't mean it's the safest though.
According to you, what does it mean to be the safest in cold backup?
But according to me,
Yeah, you said it is a safe.
because it is consistent. Cold backup is consistent. But instead here in hot backup, it is very difficult. Like it's not easy to perform even a point in time recovery.
I think I understand both of your points. Koji, his point is that considering the fact that as long as the database consistently, if you copy the files from one location to the other, you're sure that at least you'll be able to perform a point in time recovery to that time. So in that case, you have minimal change to crash the database, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, user managed hard backup is the one that is the most used. But the thing is, let's say if you forget to end backup,
right?
Let's say you back up, after the database begin backup and you forget to end the backup, you're in trouble, right? You're in trouble. Even your data files that you backed up won't be good. So you have to end backup, right? So there are many things that can happen with a user managed hard backup that would make it, if you're being reckless, of course, that might make it unrecover. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to recover the data file in case of crash. That's what he means by it's safe. Because with cold cloning, you're sure 100% that if you did it normally, without even much effort, you should be able to at least do a point in time recovery to that specific time when the backup was done. But with hard backup, if while you perform the backup, the database was up, right? One of the reasons why it's not safe is that your database might still be up, but you're having some corrupt files. Even your system can still be up, right? but it's already crashed. We've done that many times here. We've seen that many times here, where system would literally be gone physically, but the database will still be up, and you perform a backup with that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you try to perform a point in time recovery using that user managed hard backup, it's not good anymore. It's no longer, you cannot use it. Simply because you used a wrong backup. How many times did we have that problem here in class? So I think that's why he's saying it's safe. In a way, it's safe. But to be honest, you won't be using cold backup at work because it's downtime. Unless it's a test database or something, but you would be performing user managed hard backups or RMAN backups. Actually, you would be doing all types of backups for different databases, user managed RMAN backups, enterprise manager backups.
Yeah, I get it. We are not talking on the point of which one we'll be using. We are talking of which one is the safest.
Yes, in that case, yes. Because there are more factors that can go wrong with the user managed hard backup. If you forget to end the backup, you'll run in trouble. If you after the base begin backup, you forget to end the backup, you'll be in trouble. If you forget to after the base begin backup, you just copy, you will be in trouble. So there are some things that can happen for user managed hard backup that would make your backup unusable, literally. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's one of the disadvantage of it. But yes, one of the advantage, however, is fast recovery, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very fast recovery. That's a very good advantage.
Emma, data loss is minimal in hard backup, right?
Data loss?
Is minimal in hard backup.
Yes, can be minimal, right? Less, I would say less. Yeah, minimal data. Let's say minimal. Minimal data loss. But there is something else that is even better than minimal data loss. Complete media recovery, right? And this is an option that we don't have with cold backups. You have that option with user managed hard backups and RMAN backups. But that's not an option that you have with cold cloning, with cold backups. You cannot perform any complete recovery. You're 100% sure that you'll be losing data, right?
Mm-hmm.
But with hard backup, you may lose some data, you may not lose some data. You guys saw when you crash system on purpose, some people just recovery complete, some people had to allow reset logs corruption, some people had to cancel and then open reset logs. So there are many cases where with the hard backup, it might not be, you might lose data, but you might also have a complete media recovery. Yes.
So you said above that we can perform point in time, and
yes,
you're saying you can complete media recovery. So I want to know the difference.
Okay. Complete media recovery. Okay. We have the ready logs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ready log 1, ready log 2, ready log 3, right? So you know that the information go to the ready logs information, right? All the changes that are made, right?
Yes.
So when performing a complete media recovery, it means that you applied all the logs that were needed to be up to date to write to that specific time. Are you following? Meaning that you apply the latest sequence. Are you following?
Yes.
You apply the latest sequence that would allow you to have a complete media recovery.
Yeah, from the redo logs.
You're getting lost?
No, I said from the redo log.
Exactly. First from the, let's say if it was an old backup from days ago, first from the archive logs, then from the redo logs, right? Right?
Yes.
And when you apply from the redo logs, the current redo logs that you have, the media recovery would be complete because it applied all the logs that were needed, right?
Yes.
Now, point in time recovery, it's, for example, you lose a ready log file. Let's say you lose a ready log file. Yeah, when in time recovery. You lose all your ready log file, right? For some reason. So the only way for you to actually restore your database and recover is to restore all the way until the latest archive log, right? So you restore until the latest archive log. You don't have any more. So this is a point in time recovery. You're performing a point in time recovery to the sequence that is in that archive log, right? Or sometimes you might even have archive log files gone missing for some reason. So you cannot even restore until the latest archive log. You would need to restore until maybe, let's say, for complete recovery, you would need to be at sequence 105. But you lost so many archive logs and you lost your ready log file that you would need you would only be able to recover until sequence 78, for example. So from sequence 78 to sequence 105, all those information would be lost, right? Mm-hmm. But you would also have the option to restore until sequence 75, 74. So you have the point in time. You can choose the point in time, the sequence number, right? Another thing with user managed hard backup compared to cold backup is that for cold backup, you only have one sequence that is used. So the sequences that were used at the time of the backup is the sequence that you will get back to when you open the database, period. But for user managed hard backup, you actually have a lot more options. You can have a lot more space, more options to recover to, point in time to recover to. Are we good? Okay. Now let's talk about RMAN cold cloning. What's RMAN cold cloning? How should the database be when you perform RMAN cold cloning? Today is the last day we are going over this. Next class, what we'll be doing will be a bit different. Next class we'll do flashback. Next class we'll be doing flashback database. So that's a different thing.
Oh, thank you for telling me.
That's why we take the time to do it today. If you understand it, amazing. If it's confusing, please ask questions.
So, the database should,
database should be
mounted.
Yes, mounted or the instance started. Right?
Right.
I did it. Yes.
Then you just back up. Arman does the job for you, right? That's basically it.
and we need backup.
No.
Excuse me?
And we need backup.
What do you mean we need backup?
In cold cloning, we need to specify like format, and we give Arman the directory.
Yes. Arman does the backup for you. Okay, let's add it. Sends it to the default location if not specified, right? Using form, right? Okay. Now let's talk about user managed hard backup. Arman hard backup. Arman hard backup. What's this play with Arman hard backup?
The database needs to be mounted as well.
Right. Database must be
Mounted.
Really? I was about to type it until I
open. It must be open.
Right? Database must be open. Then
Because
Arman takes care
of the rest.
It's confusing. Yeah.
right? Now we didn't talk about user manage hard cloning. How does it differ from user manage hard cold cloning? What are the differences that you guys know that, okay, those are the difference from cold cloning that you did in DB1 and hard cloning that you started doing in DB2? What are some of the differences that you've noticed?
we add some parameters in our P file.
User manage hard cloning.
We copy.
Arman.
We copy.
Okay.
Okay, the first thing we need hard backup, right?
Mm-hmm. And then we copy the archive log of the source to the target.
Right. We need the archive logs.
And we also reset logs.
We reset logs for all of them.
Even for cold cloning? No, in cold cloning, we don't reset logs.
You reset logs for cold cloning too.
When we're in DB1?
Yes.
Auto database open reset log.
Simply because you need to create new control files.
Yes.
Oh.
You create new control files, right? So you have to open reset logs. Are we good? Yes, no, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, this is a while. So I'm just going to go over what we did this morning because it's almost 10. So for user managed hard backup, the database must be up and running during the whole time, right? Zero downtime. The database must be in backup mode, right? The database must be in backup mode when performing okay. No, this is hard cloning. Okay. We need a user managed hard backup. Must be done properly, right? So begin backup and backup. Database is up and running during the whole time, right? The database must be in archive log mode. We need the archive logs information. So we need to copy the archive logs information of the source to the target, right? And we can have a complete recovery or point in time before resetting the logs. You good with that, right? Right? So when performing a hard cloning, you can have media recovery complete, or you may not, but you may have media recovery complete before resetting the logs.
Me too.
Are we good?
Yes.
For cold backup, we say the same thing. We need cold backup, database down for the time of the backup. Where did we put backup basic application? Okay, now for Arman, for backup-based duplication, Arman need the information from your P file, right? Arman needs the information for your P file. For any types of Arman backup, Arman would need the information from your P file, right? Because in your P file, Arman will know the name of the new instance, right? Arman would know all the parameters that needs to be allocated. Arman would need to know where to send the files to. That's why we use DB file name convert, right? Where to remap the files to. Arman would need to know where to send the logs files to. So you absolutely need a P file, and the database must be mounted. Instance must be started. The instance must be started, not mounted, right? You don't need to create any control file. Arman will create a control files for you, right? Arman will use the backup location. This is for backup-based duplication. Arman will use the backup location if you specify. You need sys password to connect to Arman for the auxiliary instance. So you need a password file. You need to copy the password file from the target to the source, from the source to the target. You need to add auxiliary database to TNS names, and you need to bounce the listener. Are we good? Now, let's talk about active-based duplication. What's the main characteristic of active-based duplication?
No backup location.
No backup needed, exactly. It's live, it's backing up live. The Arman is backing up live, right?
Yeah.
So you don't need any backup. Now, you need to edit the listener and the TNS names. You need to edit both. For backup-based duplication, you only need to edit the TNS names, but for base duplication, you need to edit both, right? And the status of the listener is unknown, right? The status of the database is unknown because database doesn't exist. And you just added the listener of a database that has not been created yet. So here, archive logs, you need archive logs. Same for all the hot backups, all the hot clonings. Password file must be the same as the target database, right? Arman needs the P file information. The database must be up and running. You don't need to create any control file. Arman will create the control files for you. Instance must be started. Are we good?
Yes. So I have one question in this active base. Why must we edit the listener? Because for real, I still don't get it.
Why do we need to edit the listener?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's my question.
To be able to connect, right? When we connect to Arman, to be able to connect and to be able to, Arman is like creating that database. Okay, let me give you thing to see. Okay, for Arman to create that database, right, directly from the live location, right, it needs the listener of that database. Are you good?
Okay, so it's because the database is up. And
database is not up, yes.
And it's also using a live location to create the database.
Yes. For example, did you notice when you create a database with DBCA?
Did I notice what?
Hmm?
Did I notice what?
When you create a database with DBCA.
No, I didn't notice. I didn't notice if DBCA actually edited my listener.
It did. When you create a database with DBCA, it would put the listener of the database in there. It would add it.
Okay. Oh, all right. I didn't notice.
So those are the information that are needed for Arman to be able to create that database. Basically, it needs the listener.
No, I have a question as well. On active base duplication, when you say archive log, the target database should be on archive log or the source database?
The source database.
Okay, thank you.
You said the source?
Yes, the source database, right?
So the database you want to create or the database you are connected to?
The database you are connected to.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, that's like the target database.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. The thing is that she asked source or target. So from her question, I said source. If you said target or auxiliary, then it's target.
Yeah.
So our man needs to be able to connect to the auxiliary database instance, right? Our man needs to be able to connect to the database instance by using the listener in order to create that database, right? So it's just for the creation, our man needs to connect to the auxiliary database. So that's why we have that. Because there is a connection taking place. Okay, let me give you an example. You guys see when we do like database links, right? We connect directly to another database, right? So it's the same way AMA needs to be able to connect the target database to the auxiliary database. And it needs the listener to do that. Are we good? It needs to have the information of the listener of that database, be able to connect the auxiliary and the target database.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes.
So if there is not any more question, we can meet back on. Okay, assignment 9 is due on Wednesday. I know that some of you already did that, so you can just go back and just relax. And if you have any question, we start at 1 hour answering questions and stuff, and then we start chapter 10. It's a very short chapter. It doesn't take a long time.
And interesting, right?
Yeah, it's flashback. You guys,
Interesting.
you guys have been asking about flashback since DB1. I know you guys will like that flashback. Don't even try.
That was a good attempt.
You see, it's such a short chapter. That's it. It's very short chapter. You guys will love it. It's very short but very interesting. You guys have been asking about flashback since DB1, so I'm actually very excited. Finally talk about flashback. Okay.
Emma.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Next class, I'll have a couple of questions concerning sequence, because I'm still lost concerning sequence. The next class.
Really? And
yes.
why are you only asking about that now?
That's why I'm keeping in next class before we want to start.
Okay. I'm actually a speaker. And someone asked me another question in DB1 in the morning class. They asked me like something that I should show them how to. You guys are giving me extra work. Okay, no problem. Okay. So next class then.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, me too. I had a question about the, what do you call it? Unique primary key and unique
key. Okay.
Unique key. So I think you said that when you create a table, right?
Mm-hmm.
The system, if you don't specify a primary key or unique constraint, the system automatically does that, right?
Did I say that? I don't remember saying that.
Oh.
If a primary key is not specified and the table doesn't have any primary key, you need to specify the constraint primary key, right?
Okay.
That's why when we copy HR employee, when we create a table that is a copy of HR employee, it doesn't have any primary key. That's why we're able to duplicate rows, right?
Right.
Because there is no primary key. if you had a primary key in that table, like from A for HR employee itself, we cannot duplicate HR employee, duplicate the same rows, right?
Right.
But for unique keys, however, you can have many unique keys, but you can only have one primary key.
Okay. Also, I just wanted to ask you, in the assignment 9, right, the extra assignment you gave us, what was the reason for asking us to multiplex the control files?
Because it will come in, it will be coming on your exam.
Okay. Okay, I just thought like you had to do something for the cloning with that.
No.
Okay.
The exam is coming up in less than a month now. So I'm starting to put things that will be part of the exam already.
I'm just gonna hide it on secret so you don't.
Oh wow, you guys are already almost in project now.
I know.
I'm just hiding.
Thank you, Emerald.
Nice to hear you guys.
Good night.
Good night.
So, I'm hiding.
Good night.